I'm in the garden. It's April, and that means it's time for an April garden tour. This is going to be quick because my battery is already low. I'm already on red on this iPhone, so I won't hold you, but I just want to show you some of what's happening in the garden because the garden is finally starting to wake up. So where should we start? Let's start on this side. Here you'll see that I planted onions, and the onions are doing really well in ground, so much better in ground than in the raised beds or bags. And that's a conversation for another day. I recently took my spinach out of the jugs that I winter sowed some spinach, and I planted it here underneath some shade cloth. I'm still waiting to see how it's going to actually do, but so far so good. Over here we have my bunching onions that just got huge, and I've just left them there. They're starting to seed. That's just gonna be their permanent spot. And behind them you see a couple of broccoli that I sprouted in the jugs as well. And we have my attempt at carrots. We'll see how these carrots do in this front bed. Over here are more onions, but if you look, you'll see that the beets are coming up. So I have some beets coming up. I've got to look at the package and see how long these beets are supposed to take. I put them in kind of early, so it's going to take a little bit longer than the package says. And there's my chocolate mint that I got off Facebook Marketplace. Walk around this way. More onions and garlic. Now here is my bed with my kale, and I have some peas in here that I've been fighting somebody. I've been going back and forth with someone. Someone wants my peas more than I do, so I covered them up. The kale's coming out today because it is starting to seed. It's flowering, and I do not want to deal with aphids. And when it starts to get warm and things start to flower, you just run into all kind of issues. So I'm going to go ahead and take the kale out today. I've enjoyed it all winter long, so I'm fine with it coming out. You'll notice that the soil is really low compared to the bed, but that's because I just added this second layer like a week ago, and I just decided not to fill it up. It was hopefully to deter whatever was coming in here and chomping on the peas as they were sprouting. So I'm leaving that in here. I planted Detroit red beets, and I planted Swiss chard in here. I'm thinking that these are the beets. That's where I put the beet sign. I planted Swiss chard all in the front. I don't really see any unless that's what that is. I'm gonna let it come out. We'll see. I'm gonna let it grow a little while, but yeah, kale's coming out today. Over here is that blackberry that I was so scared I didn't have any leaves. Everyone else had leaves and I didn't have any. And I have leaves now. I did a little bit of trimming. I'm gonna do a little bit more, but I'm really happy that this is waking up. This bed here doesn't have anything in it yet, but I am going to plant zucchini, and I'm going to try to do vertical zucchini in this bed, and some herbs in this bed as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to put peppers back here eventually, but I do have peppers in the jugs. And then in the towers, I put some bush beans. I put bush beans in every little crevice, but not all of them germinated. So I brought some different types of bush beans out today. And wherever I don't have a germinated bean, I'm gonna put this other bush bean in there. I'll look, cause like, see, this one is just coming up late, but it's coming. So I'll just pay attention. But I wanna get, this whole thing needs to be put to use. Now in between that, we have corn. I planted my corn super early, way before last frost. We still have, what, 2 weeks before last frost, and these have been in here probably 2.5 weeks. I planted 16, and I ended up with 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Only 11 of the 16. This row only got 1 of the 4 that I planted. This row got 3 of the 4 that I planted, and so did this row. I think it has something to do with the amount of sun. The towers are blocking this row. I think that's what that is, but I'm still pleased with this because I got these in way early with the thought that if I get them in early enough, I can harvest them in May and get another crop of corn in this year. So that is the goal. We'll see. And then I was here a couple days ago, and one of my neighbors gave me some corn seeds. Let me show you. Gave me these. Look at those corn seeds. I think he called them cotton candy. So I decided that those are going to go in grow bags. Well, at least some of them will go in grow bags. So I'm prepping bags right now, and I'm going to get those planted today. Here's the zucchini that I'm planting today. And here are the bush beans that I'm planting today. Royal Burgundy Bush. I'm told that they're pretty and purple, and then when you cook them they turn green. So that's fine, but I'm gonna get those planted out today. And then I just brought this sweet potato out. I'm gonna water that down and hopefully get some slips, because I am trying sweet potatoes in crates. That's what this little section will be. So I'll have the sweet potatoes in these crates. I'm using the free closet shelves that I got off Facebook Marketplace to allow the vines to trellis, because I eat the vines as well, put them in shakes or saute them. And so I'm hoping that I can grow them here and just have this little section. This section has weed barrier, waterproof weed barrier, so I'm not going to grow anything in this box. This will be like a container bed. And this is my Rose of Sharon that one of my garden friends gave me. So that's just sitting there looking pretty, and hopefully will attract some pollinators. Okay, let's work our way down the other side. These are the bags that I'm prepping for corn. So corn's gonna go in here. So you just see the garden tone, and I have some compost and some raised bed soil in here. So just amending that so I can get the corn in here. And I'm thinking I'm going to rearrange the bags so that the corn can be over here somewhere. Not exactly sure where, but everything has to have a purpose, a reason. I have to use the space, right? So onions, again, not doing great in the bags. There's onions, not doing great in the bags, but they're alive. Could probably just be really small onions. Some of that lettuce, if you watch the other video, you'll know that when I took the lettuce out, this is so dry. When I took the lettuce out of the jugs, it was so weak. I didn't think it was gonna make it, but some of it is still hanging in there. So I haven't bothered it. This is Merlot lettuce. This lettuce is from Baker Creek. And then the other lettuce is that Black Simpson that I got from Dollar Tree. Over here, I planted a couple of okra. So okra is going to grow in this bag here. I may end up switching things out and putting the corn right here in these 2 spaces, bringing the lettuce up front, because I have room for 3 more bags. That's probably what I'll do. Strawberries and onions over here. And nope, not strawberry and onion. These are garlic. These are some free garlic that someone just gave me at the community garden. So that's what that is. And I read that garlic does really well with strawberries, so I'm trying that. We shall see. I also planted a little bit of basil in here, so we're gonna see how the basil does. And then over there on the end, those are walking onions. First time growing those. Again, that was something someone just gave me. But the garlic is looking really, really strong in this bed. And the strawberries are starting to give me little berries. I'm gonna go in here, I don't know if you can see that, and try to find something to get them off of the ground. I don't really want them sitting in the dirt. So I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do there. Okay, let's come over here. Last year's onions that I just left in to see what would happen. This was one onion that I left in this grow bag. It split by itself and it's growing. This is just an experiment. I'm just checking to see what happens with this onion. At the very least, I'll get some green onions. But if I end up with 4 onions, that's going to give me, or 5, that's gonna change the game for me, because all I did was just leave this in from last year. Okay, let's go over here. So in this bed, I am so proud of this lettuce. I almost counted this lettuce out. It was just looking so poor over the spring, first part of spring, end of winter. But look at it. It's gorgeous. I think I'll even get some today. Gorgeous lettuce. And I have it staggered. It's coming up. I planted Cherokee wax beans just a little over a week ago, and they have germinated. I planted 10 because there were only 10 seeds in the pack. I was so surprised by that. But they're doing really well. I'm watching them come up. So I'm excited about that. There's one right here. I'm gonna take some of this lettuce so I'm not blocking the beans out. And here's my little carrots. Anxious to see what the carrots look like. And on the back, I have more peas. So I'm hoping that the peas will climb up this trellis that I got for free off of Facebook Marketplace. I think I've shown you everything that is currently happening. Let's take a look at what's going on in the jugs. So here's my little water bottle experiment. I wanted to see how things would grow in just plain regular water bottles. This is a very neglected area of the garden. It doesn't get watered the way everything else gets watered because sometimes I forget about it. And everything is doing really well in here. I have loofah. This is 5-year-old loofah. The seeds germinated. I planted 2 seeds and both of the seeds germinated. So I'm gonna be growing loofah this year. We have one more day that's supposed to be really cool, like down into the 40s. And I'm gonna let that day pass and then I'll go ahead and plant those out. And then I don't even remember. I think these were like cauliflower. So they probably can, like this one, it can go ahead and get planted today. And some of them are small, but I'm gonna go ahead and just let them see what they do. This is a marshmallow. This one, let's see, it was not doing well. I took the rest of them out and left one in here, and it still doesn't look great. Doesn't look great. But the other ones are small, but they're hanging in there, so I'm just gonna let nature figure out what it wants to do. And then these are stevia plants. And these look really good. So again, I have a little bit of time before I plant these out. Probably another 2 weeks before I plant those out. Okay, let's check out the other jugs. I'm here after work, so, you know, it gets dark on me fast, but I should still have another hour and a half or so of daylight. So after I make this video, I'll get some work done. All right, let's see what's happening over here. And I'm looking for the first time with you, so I don't really know what I'm gonna see until you see it. And here we have some cucumber. The cucumber looks like it wants to come out. Doesn't look super happy in here. I might go ahead and plant that out today. We'll see. I am finally getting echinacea. I planted this echinacea in February and watched and nothing came up. And now all of a sudden, I think it's just warm enough that it is coming up. So I'm super happy about that. Over here, we have, you can't even see it, but there's a two tiny sprouts of lemon balm in here. I did not get any sage. I'm gonna let it stay in here, but I don't think I got any sage. And then I planted some extra okra. Some extra okra seeds just in case the ones in the grow bags didn't germinate. And these have all germinated. I planted 4 and I have all 4. So I'll see what they do. If they do better than the grow bag, I'll just go ahead and transplant them over there. Over here, we have peppers that will stay in here for a little while because peppers like it really hot, but they're doing really good in here. I have some jalapeno pepper and bueno mulatto pepper, and they are doing so much better than when I planted them in ground last year. They took forever. Over here, I believe this is yarrow. I did not label this well. This is one of those jugs that I just didn't label good. I think it's yarrow on one side. I planted something else on the other side. It's starting to come up. It looks like lemon balm, but I don't think it is. So we'll just wait. We'll wait and see. And then finally, this I believe is German chamomile. And it is beautiful. It's huge and beautiful. I can't wait to take that out. So yeah, that is it. Oh, no it's not. Hold on. Over here, we have those little baby marshmallows that I took out and just put in ground to see if they would grow. I planted 3. 2 of them look like they're gonna make it. 1 of them does not, and that's okay. 2 is great. This is my, what's the name of it? Comfrey from last year here. And over here, what also doing really well is calendula. Calendula wants to be out so bad. It wants to get out and play. So that's calendula that's planted there. Okay, I planted basil in the back, but I don't see any yet. I'm hoping that will come up. I think that's it. So I'm gonna plant my corn. I think it's called candy cane or something like that, corn. I'm gonna get that planted in my grow bags to see how they do. And I'm gonna plant my bush beans, my purple bush beans in the towers. I'm gonna harvest some lettuce and then I'm going to get out of here. There is a really dark cloud that's over me and I'm not sure why because there's no rain in the forecast, but I'll get some things done and head on out. So make sure that you come back for another episode of Land and Leaf. See you later. Love you, mommy.